Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Thinking Like a Bank, where we show you how to think like a bank using the same strategies and principles that banks use to help you find more financial freedom in your life. I'm your host, Sari Ibrahim. So for today's episode, we actually have a very special guest. His name is Benjamin Morgan. Ben has been in the real estate industry for over 20 years on both the mortgage side of things and on the investing side. He started the Legacy Investment Group about 5 years ago to help homeowners who are facing financial difficulties or who simply want to sell their home without the stress of the traditional process. The company is dedicated to helping homeowners regardless of their situation, and they operate with integrity in every situation. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sorry. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us. And I really wanted you on the show because a lot of our previous episodes and kind of the function of the podcast talk about investing or owning real estate, and especially doing so passively and with your whole life insurance policy and your bank on yourself type whole life policy. We'll get into more of that later. But for now, do you mind sharing with us your background and how you got into real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've always been in the sales industry. I started in the mortgage industry as a loan officer, and I worked my way up. I was doing that for a little over 5 years. Started managing a group in a mortgage company, and then I actually moved out to California to open a net branch. Uh, Went out there with a couple friends and opened a net branch of an existing mortgage company that was already out there, and kind of went from there. And as you know, the bubble burst.
Mhm.
So that kind of hurt a little bit. Was out in California for about 5 years. And then after the bubble burst, I kind of moved back to Maryland, licked my wounds, and and that's when I went into the other side of real estate, where I became a real estate agent. I started flipping properties just to kind of absorb some of the costs and make more money on the bottom line, because I was my own agent and I was selling my own properties. So that just kind of made sense in the natural progression of what I did. And then as I started to renovate properties and started to flip properties, that became a passion of mine. I love turning, that ugly duckling, ugly house into a beautiful creation that, I did myself. And I didn't physically do it, work wise, but I had my own general contractor and subcontractors doing the work. But on a whole, I mean, that's what I love, and that's why I started the business, because I started to see a trend where there were homeowners that were in trouble, and they needed guidance, they needed help to get through the muddy waters of the foreclosure. So that's where we came in and kind of gave them options, kind of helped them out of the situation that they were in.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Thank you for sharing that. And it's a very interesting field, the real estate industry. There's a lot of things that people need to be aware of, and which is why I think there's a difference between active and passive real estate investing, right? Do you mind sharing what is the difference between an active real estate investor and a passive real estate investor?
Yes, absolutely. So active investor is someone that is actually boots on the ground, that is, you know, at the projects every day, going through, what they have to do, what kind of materials they have, making sure the contractors are doing what they need to do. It's the everyday day-to-day operations. And as far as a passive, compared to that, that's just investing. You put some capital up, and then you get a return on it.
Hmm.
You don't necessarily do any of the hard work. It's what they call mailbox money, if you will,
Hmm.
where you're not dealing with the day-to-day operations.
Okay, that makes sense. So especially somebody, for example, who's like a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, somebody who's just busy with their day job, but still wants to get involved in real estate, they could take advantage through passive real estate investing instead of going out and learning how to do so actively.
Yeah, it's a good benefit, because when you're investing passively, you're taking advantage of, that other person or that other partner and their opportunities that they have, and you you're not doing the day-to-day operations.
Mhm.
So it's a win-win situation for everyone because the opportunity gets done and everybody wins.
Mhm. Exactly, and win-win. That's definitely a huge part of business. Now, why is it so? Let's, for example, compare passive real estate investing in real estate passively to other types of investments. Why is it like, for example, in my opinion, I think investing in real estate passively is one of the smartest decisions to do. But why is it, like, for example, compared to the stock market, compared to other forms of investments, why is passive investing typically better than other forms of investing?
Well, I mean, it depends on your preference, to be honest with you. People invest in stock markets and that's their preference, but real estate, you have a tangible object. You
Mhm.
have something that you can actually see, feel, and touch, and you put your money down on the property, right?
Mhm.
And it's leaned on the property. So we're buying these properties at a discount.
Mhm.
So if something goes wrong, you're still safe because that's how we structure the whole deal. So if anything goes wrong, you can sell the property and still get your money back.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, you're investing in a tangible asset, a hard asset. It's still there, even if markets fluctuate, even if something happens, if it goes up or down, it's still there. As opposed to like investing in the stock market, you could lose, in one day, you could lose half of your portfolio in one day, and nobody could even see that coming. So I think it's less volatile than other markets, especially when we have it connected with like whole life insurance policies, like when we talk about like using bank on yourself type whole life insurance policies and how you could leverage the cash value there to loan out from the policy, borrow from the policy, and then invest in passive deals or be a hard money lender. In other words, you're using the money in real estate passively without having to do the actual work, and then you can get the returns in the policy itself growing as well as through the deals you do. Now, just to be clear, if somebody was interested in doing passive investing in real estate, they can contact you, correct?
Absolutely. They can go to my website. It's the Legacy Investment Group, and all my information is on there. You can email me at ben@thelegacyinvestmentgroup.com, and we can discuss any of the options that we have available. Um, we have lots of investors that invest in our company and our opportunities. Some of the investing that comes from their assets on maybe a 401k or a whole life policy, where they're actually reaping the benefits of passively investing it in, an opportunity that we might have.
Okay, nice. So there's different ways that they can come across the capital. It doesn't just have to be from their checking account. It could be from their IRA or from their 401k, 403b account, whole life insurance. They could even, in some situations, leverage the equity in their homes or different places. There's a lot of different places that they can find the money, in other words.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I talk to my investors, because a lot of people that we talk to, they just have money just in their checking account or
Mhm.
saving account. And as you know, the savings account does not yield, a high, return on their money.
Mhm.
So by investing in one of our opportunities, we're able to help and increase that.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's like 0.01%, the average savings account nowadays.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean, and people don't really understand or don't realize that, yes, your money is in a savings account. Um, the normal, that's what the norm is. Go to work, do your 9 to 5, and save up money. But like the things that you do on your whole life policies, some people don't know about that. But then the added bonus of having a whole life policy is being your own bank and investing in other options like real estate, which again I think is a great opportunity, especially with the way the things are going right now. Real estate is one of the top three ways to invest and make money.
Mhm. Yeah, not only the top three ways to make money, but overall the top it's in the top three industries in history. So it's usually typically nowadays, as far as the most lucrative or highest paying industries, it's number one is like financial services, so banking and financial services, and then number two it's real estate, and then number three it's a combination of technology and healthcare. This is kind of across the board now. So real estate is up there as far as not only one of the best places to invest in, but also overall highest paid, highest paying industries to be in. That's why a lot of people get into real estate, because there's a lot of money into it. In simple terms, there's a lot of money in real estate. Um, Now, there's a lot of, there's a lot of different investors out there, a lot of different groups and people to invest in. What makes you stand out from others, and what kind of makes you different? What do you do differently from other um, general partners and real estate investors?
That was a great question. Well, just being in the business for so long, my knowledge is vast
Mhm.
on different aspects. Since I was in the mortgage industry, I have knowledge on the mortgage side of things, and since I've been an investor myself, not just saying how to do things, but I actually were in the trenches, and I invested money for myself. I did flips myself, and we have the structure. The Legacy Investment Group has the structure, the processes, and we're already set up to do this because I do it myself.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't take flipping as a business. This is my business.
Mhm.
This is my full-time. I'm a full-time investor. I do this every single day, and I love what I do. I love helping people, whether it's my sellers,
Mhm.
which are selling the house to me, or whether it's my investors, which I am showing those opportunities to. It's a win-win scenario for all that are involved in our opportunities.
Are there any geographic restrictions for people working with you? Like, for example, you're in Maryland. If somebody is, for example, in California, can they still work with you?
Absolutely. I have investors that are all over the United States, some in Texas. I have a couple in Vegas, and then I would say 50% are in Maryland, where I am.
Okay. That sounds good. Is there anything else you want to share with us about what you do that you think would be beneficial to share?
Well, I think with what I do, it's we flip properties and we do it day in and day out. So with the vast knowledge that we have, we always want to educate people, and that's one of the things that I've started doing within this last year is I want to educate people to do what I do.
Mhm.
And if we work together, we can share the experience that we have done and gone through and the mistakes that we've made, and help other people do the same thing. And then there's other investors that want to invest in our company because they want to be the passive investor. They might have another 9 to 5 where they don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
They don't want to deal with the everyday, day-to-day options. Uh, if that's something that some of your viewers want to, entertain, give me a call. We can discuss, our options.
And can people contact you via phone?
Yes, it's 410
Mhm.
881 3506.
Okay. And then one more time, what's your website?
It's thelegacyinvestmentgroup.com.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds good, Ben. I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your expertise and knowledge. I will add in all the details to everything you mentioned in the show notes. This way you can just click on the links, click and call if you're using your mobile phone. Please subscribe to the show, like, and share. I look forward to having you again on the show, Ben. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me, Sarah.
To learn more about what we do and how we can help you grow more wealth, please visit www.finassetprotection.com. That's FIN, assetprotection.com. The topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purposes of providing legal, accounting, or investment advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation.